What's up YouTube, I'm just another guy and welcome back to Ebbsfleet United. So here we are now guys at the end of our 9th season at the club. And last time I left you off halfway through the season, we were battling on 3 fronts still. We had the FA Cup, technically we had the Premier League, or we were asking for a lot because Manchester City were quite a distance away from us. And we also had the Champions League, of course, to look forward to. So let's waste no extra time in talking about other things because we're just going to jump straight into this. So in the league table, I said the Premier League was my target. You know, realistically, it was going to be a very tough job to overcome Manchester City. But we did it. We have won the Premier League, the Barclays Premier League with Ebbsfleet in only 9 seasons. I think that's an incredible achievement, probably one of the best things I've ever done on FM to have achieved that so quickly over time, because this is only our, 4th season in the Premier Division, and to win the Premier League after 4 years, okay, I could have done it quicker, but I think we've progressed gradually. You know, we've not jumped up too far, we've allowed the squad to develop, and now, you know, the quality of players to develop. And, you know, we've done an incredible achievement. We only lost 3 games all season long. We drew 10, but the fact that we drew 10 and didn't lose a few additional games was the difference between us finishing first and us finishing second or maybe even third. Because it was very tight between us, Chelsea and Manchester City for the title. And as you see, in the end, only 3 points separated us. Goals scored going at the end of the season, we finished with the 3rd highest tally, which is very good. And goals conceded, we finished with the 5th lowest. So overall, I'm happy with both of them because only 6 goals separate us with Chelsea with an, least conceded. So we are now at a standard of football I'm really happy with. We're defensively we're fine, going forward we're fine. We now know we can win the Premier League. We are at an incredible standard, and we are exactly where we need to be. So let's go into past positions, I guess, and we'll have a look at how the story progressed. We'll compare us, Chelsea and City, and as you can see, we only got 1st place on the last day of the season. We were consistently, from about halfway through the season, we were consistently in the top 3, always there, always in and around there. You see, we were 3rd, we bumped up to 2nd with 10 games remaining, dropped down with the last 3 games, pushed up, all the way up to win the league. City probably deservedly should have won the title, but you can't slip up at the end. The end is where you win it, and they threw it away. And really, with the points gap they had to us at the midway point of the season and to the rest of the teams in the league, they really did throw it away to make it, for it to be so tight in the end. The fact is, they almost missed out on 2nd place. So overall, an incredible achievement, and one in a way was a little bit surprising, but still, I'm not gonna argue with it. It's great. So let's go into the transfers and have a look at who we brought in and who we let go in January. So we'll go to the outs first. So the first guy to go out was Kosalanik, who joined the Italian team Catania, I think it's pronounced. We joined them in January. He just wasn't getting enough games here, and I decided, it's best if we tried to get him out and get first team football, see if we could develop him and, improve his value and sell him on for a bit of profit. As you can see, didn't play well there in the second half of the year. Probably the top divisions in Europe are a little bit too much for him, so we'll have to look to loan him out to a lower level in next year. Next guy to leave was David Du Bois. He joined Malaga on loan. Finally, after a transfer window trying to find a club, he ended up getting a team to go out on loan to, and he went to Malaga, and he actually played really well there. So Du Bois has really put his name on the map for me, on the radar for starting for me, because of the performances he put in for Malaga in the Liga BBVA. And it's his best ever record for a club since playing for his amateur team, Pol Espoiz de Grand Est. So encouraging signs for the 19-year-old, and I'll definitely consider playing him next season unless I can see a good loan option yet again where he may go back out. Also had to leave was Kabordis, I think it is pronounced. He joined West Ham for a little bit of a fee attached to his loan. He just wasn't. Came back from loan from Wolves, and again he wasn't really in my plans. Decided to get him off again. He went to West Ham, played a little better, but still nothing amazing about this guy. He'll probably be getting either sold or again loaned out because he's not a great player. And also we loaned out Fabio Di Prello. He joined Pomelo on a loan to the end of the season, and he played really well. He hasn't featured for us now for about 2 years, so I think it finally dawned on him that he needed to move, or he needed to try and get a move done, and so I was trying to sell him. In the end, I could only get a loan deal for him. You know, at least that's something, I guess. At least he wasn't at the club disrupting the team. We'll go back to the ins, though. We're going to talk about the two guys we brought in for this season, and then, of course, we'll come back after I go through the fixtures, and we'll have a look at the transfers yet again for next season. So the first guy, Tobias Christian, he joined on a free transfer from FC Copenhagen, and I'm really chuffed to have signed this guy. Only 17 years of age, and you look at them stats, you're probably wondering how I signed him on a free transfer. And it was because his contract was expiring. He's had an incredible half year at FC Copenhagen, and they let his contract expire, or I guess he didn't want to sign down or something. So we signed him up on a free transfer. For now, he's a backup player, only 17. There's no real rush to pull him in. There's no real rush to try and, you know, make him the best player in the world right now. We've got plenty of time to do that. I just see a decent Premier League player apparently right now with the potential to be a star. He can play left mid, centre mid, probably shove him in centre attacking mid. I wouldn't even mind doing that. I think this guy can play pretty much anywhere I needed him to. Wouldn't even mind shoving him out on the right. But he's so young, and I think he's got real good potential ahead of him and such good stats now. So Tobias, sorry. I said it wrong first time. Tobias Christiansen. Really chuffed we've got him on a free transfer. And the last guy we got before the transfer window shut for us was Andrea Galante, I think it's pronounced. 18 years of age, defensive midfielder, just a young player with a little bit of potential in him. Currently in under 21. See if I can loan this guy out next year or something, or maybe even keep him here and just develop him in the under 21s and youth levels. Currently he's wanted by a few clubs on loan, so maybe a loan deal will be possible next season. But overall, I just signed this guy for the idea that if he plays well, you know, if he develops well, I have a player in the team. If he doesn't develop well, I think I can sell him on for a good profit. So that's the only reason for that signing there. So let's go into the fixtures and have a look at how we did in the other competition. So last time I left you off, I can't remember if it was one of these games. I don't really remember. I think it was just after the Kelly scored his double against United, 2 penalties to get us a draw. So we'll continue from there afterwards. So we drew 3 more games after that, as we drew to Aston Villa, Newcastle and Wolves in the FA Cup third round, forcing us to a replay there. Before finally we went back on winning ways, beating Reading 5-0, with Sousa getting a hat-trick in the 91st minute, completing that. And also beat Stoke 3-1 before beating Wolves in the FA Cup third round replay 3-2. Tobias Christiansen getting a goal and Luis Suarez scoring a double, helping us on our way to a very tight victory again at the Molineux. At Molineux, not at the Molineux. After that, we played the FA Cup fourth round and drew yet again. As you see, a slightly rotated team, a few maybe not first choice players, including Pat Holloway, a youngster through our youth system, playing in his one of his first ever games for us. He actually played last year for us, but playing in starting in one of his first ever games for us. I think, I don't know. Again, I don't really keep track on it too much. I went all the way to down. You probably saw some results there. But after that, after a disappointing 1-1 draw there to Charlton, a team we really should be beating from the Championship, I think, or maybe even League One are they in. They were League One. So after drawing there, we beat Peterborough 4-2 and beat Southampton 3-0 before another shock result against Charlton as we lost that game 1-0. And again, I played a weaker team. I played a rotated team because I was sure that we could beat Charlton even with a rotated team. But it turned out not to be true. And a shock exit for the team in the FA Cup fourth round, which is a real shame. So no domestic double to go with the league this season. Following that, a very nice victory, 3-0 over Chelsea. Cordoza, Kelly and Batur getting 3 goals there, 2 from a corner, so showing our dominance as our centre backs clearly have good ability, aerial threat from corners and set pieces and things. Richard Levitt scored the only goal of the game as we drew 1-1 to Arsenal before once again we entered the Champions League. In the first leg against Marseille, we drew 2-2 in a tight match at the Stade Velodrome away from home, and as you can see, we had to fight back from a 2-goal deficit to come back into the game. They did get a man sent off for the last 27 minutes of the match. They were down to 10 men, and realistically, when they are down to 10 men like that, we should have had enough to have overcome them, but we were unable to score yet again. So going into the second leg, we had an advantage due to our 2 away goals, but nothing incredible, nothing incredibly big. In between the next Champions League game, we beat Sunderland 2-1. Beat Manchester City 1-0 in a tight game with Tervis getting the only goal. We beat West Bromwich Albion 2-0, Levitt and Sousa scoring. Before yet again we faced up against Marseille, this time at home, and we won 2-1. It was a very tight match, a lot tighter than the previous game. Marseille were in control of that game before we had a second half fight back. In this game, they took the lead yet again with a one goal from Brink. Anton Brink. Is he French? He's Dutch. So after that, they had their, they were technically through to the next round before they threw it away with an own goal in the 49th minute, which meant for the last 40 minutes of the game, we still had a long time left, the last 40 minutes of the match, it was anyone's game to play for. If Marseille scored, they would have been going through. If we'd scored, we'd have been going through. If it stayed the same, we were going through. If Marseille scored, they would have ruled out the away goal. So a lot of things were going on. Next person to score was going to win the game, and it took until the 90th minute for it to come, and it was Davila who stepped up and scored in the 90th minute, putting us through to the Champions League quarter-final, which is another great step in the club's career. After that, drew 0-0 to Cardiff. Poor result there, really should be beating Cardiff. In the day, doesn't really matter though, we won the league. We beat Brighton 3-1 with an own goal, Kelly and Sousa helping us go on our way before we came up against Bayern Munich in the Champions League quarter-final. And we took the lead in the 4th minute thanks to Luis Sousa and again, another tight game, as some of the Champions League games are. Two top teams playing against each other. You're always going to find tight, cagey affairs, no one willing to make that mistake. And despite our best efforts from our defence, as you can see, 3 out of the 4 of them putting in good performances, Robert Lewandowski was able to score in the 50th minute and help Bayern Munich overcome the 1-goal deficit. But yet again, going into the second leg, we had a very slender away goal advantage to try and, build on. In between the next Champions League game, we beat Swansea 4-2. As you see, Sousa getting a double there before we come up against Bayern Munich yet again, and we drew 2-2, and sadly, we were knocked out from the away goal rules. Such a shame. If they hadn't scored in the first leg, we would have been going through, and as you can see as well, we got a penalty in the 38th minute, only to be very, very foolish and give away a penalty ourselves. Batur gave it away, which meant Robert Lewandowski stepped up yet again to put Bayern back on level terms, and also ruling out our away goal. And then Julian Draxler scored in the 50th minute before Luis Suarez pegged us back, gave us a fighting chance in the 68th minute as we tried to overcome that away goal, the 2 away goals that they had. We had to score one more time before Mario Armilia was sent off in the 81st minute like a complete moron. And after that, we were no hopers. We didn't have hardly any of the ball. We were just all over the place. We were throwing things forward. We were trying to score, but that left us very open in defence. And as a result, Bayern were able to keep the ball a lot more and things like that. And it just... such a shame to be knocked out of Champions League by away goals. It is a horrible rule, but it's a rule that makes sense as well. And meant we were out of the Champions League. But to have reached the quarterfinals and to be only knocked out by away goals, I think is very encouraging going into next season, because we're now the best team in England according to the league, which means next year we really should be making a further push in the Champions League semi-final as a minimum, because I always want to progress. And then to wrap up the league season, we won 1-0 against Huddersfield, beat Leicester 3-1, beat Liverpool 2-0, beat Manchester United 4-1 with Sousa getting a double, and also beat Tottenham 2-1, Sousa's 89th minute goal, winning us the game and also winning us the league. And as you can see in that game, Batur actually been sent off at New White Hart Lane in the 85th minute, which meant they could have technically have come back, but they didn't. So what a great end to the season. And if we look at the results, some of the eagle-eyed people probably would have noticed this already. It has been a long time since we have lost. Apart from that Charlton game in the Cup, domestic in the league, we have not lost since Manchester City on the 30th of the 10th. So nearly 7 months since, about 7 months since we last lost a game. Actually, compared to that, when that was 6 months since we last lost a game. That is an incredible stat. And even if we, if we'd have somehow managed to beat Charlton, the Real Madrid game or domestically, the City game would have been the only game we had lost. So that frustrates me, that result. It frustrates me, these 2 results, actually. The draws in the first leg to both Wolves and Charlton were jokes. I should have played a stronger team, I guess, against Charlton. But, I mean, look at the people I was playing even in the first leg. Defensively was our weakest area, but that wasn't really the biggest problem. Chalobah let me down. Alex Gray didn't play well. Lingard was abysmal as a result, and a few people played decently well, I guess. But no, real poor players, apart from 2 people I really would expect to play well. Chalobah is an experienced Premier League player. Jesse Lingard has been put 2 great seasons in. This year he's had an abysmal one. And even in the second leg, look, Luis Suarez letting me down. Defensively, we were all right. Pat Holloway was a youngster I was really worried about. I really debated whether I wanted to start him. He had the best game out of all the defence. It was just going forward. We were abysmal in them 2 games. And compare this to the rest of the season, it doesn't make sense. There's no consistency there. Just I took a risk, I guess, and it backfired on me massively. Because really, I think this could have been a treble-winning season. We could have won the Champions League. We did win the Premier League, and we really should have won the FA Cup. I don't think there was anyone in this league we were afraid of. Going into next season, I fear no one. I honest to God think next year we could win the Champions League, the League Cup, the Premier League, and the FA Cup, if I didn't say that already. Whatever cup I missed out. We should be winning all 4 trophies next season. I really think we should. But let's return back to the transfers and have a look at the people we're bringing in next season. Also, pre-arranged action that has occurred. One of the guys leaving next season is Davila. Despite his great 2 years, well, 1 great year with us, he didn't really play a lot this season. And as a result, wanted out. I believe he wanted out. I don't really remember. But I just decided I don't really want him anymore. He had 1 good year with us, but now I've got all these incredible youngsters or younger players in the squad. I want to see if I can sell him now for as much profit as possible. For 2.2 million to CSK Moscow, I think it's a really good fee to recuperate. It's actually the highest fee ever received for him in his career, and he's in his 30s now. So I think that's a great fee to pick up for the player. And the 2 guys we've got coming in already is Brett Jacobson, 18 years of age, young left back. Again, this is going to be one of them players where I'll probably look to loan him out as soon as possible, with the idea of maybe selling him on for profit. If he plays well while he's loaned out, of course, I'm going to see if I can slowly integrate him into the side. He's a good Premier Division player, I should say, which would be a good backup for me in the future if he were able to develop. So that's what's happening so far. And we've also brought in Chris Morel on a free transfer. He's our backup keeper for the season. Hamadou is not very happy being a backup goalkeeper, so I want to try and loan him out, which means Morel's going to come in for a year and be our backup keeper. And as you can see, played really well for Southampton last year, so not the season just gone, the year before that. So I'm surprised he hasn't got a club, and I'm going to see if I can utilise him. And hopefully Larinus doesn't get injured anyway, but if he does, we've got a good, competent keeper on the bench. Let's look at the few things that are going on and pre-arranged out deals. So one guy leaving is Jero. He's joining Osasuna on a free transfer. His contract expired. Had 1 great year of us, 2 other decent years of us, but this year he rarely featured, and as a result, he had to go. There's no point keeping him. But a really good player for when we entered the league, and will be remembered for that. Kulubali left. He is joining Turkish team Sivasspor on a free transfer. Again, this guy, very good, very important player to us for his first year at the side. Second and third year, not so much, but a good, backup player that helps us massively in Europa League, scoring some very important third goals to help us add to or secure victories. And yeah, just someone that, again, didn't really feature a lot this year, just had to leave, 30k a week, plus he's knocking on, just really wanted him out. Next guy to leave is Mario Amarilla. People may be surprised by this because he's been an incredible player for us for the past 2 years, but I'm selling this guy on now, and I have the target that I'll be signing someone better in the future. His potential has dropped drastically, and there are better left backs out there. So I'm selling this guy for £15 million now. Now this may surprise a few people, this may shock a few people, and people may say that's a mistake, but we picked up £15 million. We're selling him to a team that aren't rivals to us, Benfica. No offence to them, but they're not going to be really challenging us for the Champions Leagues, I don't think, in the future. So overall, I'm happy to pick up the fee we have. The massive profit, the £12 million profit, is going to be hopefully spent on a new left back, someone already developed and better than Amarilla, and hopefully we'll pull in some better performances. So he will be missed at the side if, of course, we don't sign a new left back. But if we can sign a better left back, I think Amarilla will just be a fond memory, hopefully, not one that we regret and a nightmare. Roland Kita is not leaving the side. Thank you very much for now, at least, I don't think. Tim Close, he's hopefully on his way out. Don't really need him anymore. Been looking to get rid of this guy for a little while now. Swansea have rejected his contract. Sakura still have bids after him. Still rejecting them. There's no way he's leaving. But apart from that, those are already out. And there's one guy we're bringing in, and it is Stefan Torre. Stefan Torre, right attacking midfielder. Coming in from the Mexican divisions, I believe. No, the Portuguese this is. But he's from the Ivory Coast, good right attacking mid. Tervis did alright this season, but I definitely feel we could have better. And plus Lingard really let me down this year, so I don't really think he has much of a future at the side. So Torre is coming in, a lot of pace, but still, as well, technically he's sound, and plus that 16 determination is very nice indeed. So Torre is coming in on a free transfer. So those are transfers in and out. I'm sure you're shocked by a few of them. But hopefully, once this season kicks on, once I start looking for my players and start bringing people in and things like that. Once the money comes in from Amarilla and things like that, once all that's sorted, once we've brung all our players in, once I meet you back in 6 more months, these maybe shocks or mistakes won't be so. That's what I'm hoping anyway. So let's go into the squad and have a look. So let's talk about top goal scorer. Who's the top goal scorer for the club? It was Luis Sousa, the wonder kid, has done it yet again. 39 goals in all competitions, 33 goals in 38 games in the league. Sousa has been incredible this season, and his wonder kid name tag is still, keeping true to his name. Buying her after him, but there's no way I'm selling him to them. I'm not even selling him at all, man. It probably takes him like 60, 70 million for me to even consider that, because I think his goals are worth more. Top assists, Alex Gray got 15 assists. Alex Gray overall had a surprisingly good year for me, in my opinion. Tervis did alright, but like I say, sort of let me down in a few situations. Sousa got 12 assists, not only scoring, providing, and Richard Levitt picks up 12 as well in a not too great year for the player. We'll talk about goal scorers as well. Liam Kelly scored 14. He came back from injury and started playing in the second half of the season and put in brilliant performances. Really good player. I'm really happy with Liam Kelly. All the way back from his League One days, all the way till now. He's won the Premier League with us. And I think he's quite a key player to have at the side because, okay, he's not apparently the best player for the centre attacking mid role. Sakor is better than him. But Kelly gets the assist, puts in the performances, and at the end of the day, if he's doing that, I can't really drop the lad. Tervis scored 10 goals as well, which is decent, and Suarez scored 10 in his first season for the club. We'll go to Player of the Match Awards. Sousa picked up 12, as well as a lot of other people picking them up as well. Average ratings, we got a lot of people over 7. If we want to go this, Makey did really well for us this year. 7.10 match rating. Batur's it's improved yet again, playing alongside Cardozo. Batur and Cardozo are actually our best centre-back partnership we've ever had at the side. They're so consistent, they work so well together. Really, really key to have these guys here. Alex Gray, as I already pointed out, Sousa and Kelly. Someone I'm not really pointed out is Padre Viola. 17 years of age, actually played quite a few games this year for us in Cup and League, and played really well when he came on. Actually started 5 games in the Cup, 7.08 match rating. Only started 1 game, but came in as a sub a lot of times. Scored a goal and assist, a Player of the Match award, and a 7.38 match rating. He did surprisingly well for us, so really chuffed there, and I think he's got a decent future ahead of him, the 17-year-old. And as for Larinus, a decent year for him, I guess. Let's point out a few other key players. We might as well. Thorn, who cost us quite a bit of money, 8.25 million. He had a really good year for us. Not 7 rating, but still really good year. Something I can't really argue with. I'm sure he'll grow. He's 29 years of age, so I still think he's at a good age for a centre and defensive mid for us. Sakor had a good year, not as good as his past maybe, or was it? I can't really tell from there. Actually, his best year for us apparently on match ratings. The fact that he's playing a bit deeper in the midfield, of course, not centre attacking mid, means he won't really be involved in as many goals and assists as he was in his first year, but still putting good performances, I guess. Richard Levitt, we'll have a look at his league rating in comparison to the past few years. His actual lowest average match rating in his history, and his drawn lowest and assist tally since his second year in the Premier League. So not a great year for Levitt. Hopefully he'll do better. How's he doing for England? 25 caps now, still no more goals. Anyone else I really want to point out? I already pointed out Alex Gray, but I guess we'll click on him and have a look. As you see, just really surprised with how well he's been playing. And look at that, continentally, 8 games, 1 goal, 7 assists, 2 Player of the Match awards, 7.57. Alex Gray, wow. For someone stepping into the Champions League like that, did really well. So let's go into match awards, and I think we can wrap this up here. We'll have a look at some player awards in the Champions League and in Europe as well. Top goal scorer Luis Sousa was top goal scorer in the end. Liam Kelly with the most key passes, and Cardozo and Batur up there with the most key tackles. So wow, that is actually again pretty good stats. Luis Sousa also got player of the match. Let's go to the awards, because then by looking at them stats, you'd say we'd won quite a few there. So Golden Glove, Larinus came 3rd place with his 15 clean sheets in comparison to Courtois' 19. Really good year for him. Benzia picked up Footballer of the Year. Goal of the Month, I don't think we ever picked that up. Viola's only goal for the club. He came 3rd in Goal of the Month against Stoke. Goal of the Season, we didn't win that. Obviously, we didn't win it. Manager of the Month, we never won it, but who's going to get Manager of the Year? Of course it's going to be us again, 2nd year running. Who else? I don't know how I didn't win Manager of the Month. We were undefeated since October. Player of the Month, we didn't pick that up in any of the month. Player of the Year went to De La Torre. Despite, the most player of the match awards, top goal scorer. Sousa not included in any of them. Players Team of the Year. Sousa was actually in there, and Cardozo in the starting 11. Our first time we're ever in the starting 11. And Tervis was actually on the bench. So Tervis did really well. Players Young Player. Monday Amiobi was there. Tervis actually came third despite being 24, so he had a really good year, Tervis, actually, for a starting year, especially in comparison to his first 6 months where he was quite poor. Luis Sousa finished top goal scorer. Jordan Rhodes was second. Yes, Jordan Rhodes, the guy that really struggled to score for us. In fact, didn't even score 20, only scored 18 goals in 2 years for us. Managed to score 27 in one for Peterborough, and was the main reason they stayed up. What a surprise. I sell a player and suddenly he's the best player in the world. And Young Player of the Month, Luis Sousa, picked it up on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 occasions. And Batur picking up once. But yet, Players Young Player went to Monday Amiobi. Okay. Let's go into competitions now. We'll go into Champions League. That's not the Champions League. Do the right thing. Where am I now? Europe. Champions League is the Champions Cup. I was going to click on that before and I thought it was wrong. Awards for last season. Neymar picked up, oh no, that's not this season. Javier Pastore picked up best player. Best goal, we didn't pick that up. Dream Team, we weren't in that. Golden Boot, we didn't come anywhere in that. Who ended up going on to win it? I think it was PSG. PSG beat, I think it was Bayern Munich probably in the final, based upon team domestic thingy. So yeah, we ended up losing to the runners-up. Who did they have on their way? They played Napoli after us. Actually, it looked like a pretty easy team. We had beaten Bayern Munich in the past. I mean, PSG in the past, last year actually. I thought we could have beaten them. We probably could have beaten Napoli. Probably could have beaten Sampdoria. I wouldn't have feared any of them teams. Bayern Munich, the only team that probably was a challenge, left in the competition, beat us. What a joke. What an absolute joke. Even any of them teams, look, out of the four teams that got through the Champions League group stages from England, only 2 teams managed to get through to the quarterfinals and no team got through to the semis. Really let them down. And the final venue this season is Wembley. Oh my God, we've got to get there now. We're undefeated at Wembley. We've got the Community Shield coming up this season, so we'll have another game at Wembley. But hopefully we'll get to the final this year because Wembley is just, it's a beast stadium for us. It's the best stadium for us. It's our second home. Let's go into the European Awards. That's something I wanted to do. Do this to Europe. Best player in Europe went to De La Torre or Tora, whatever. Luis Sousa picked up European Golden Boy. That is an accomplishment. And Golden Shoe went to Luis Sousa. Wow. Luis Sousa, an incredible year for awards. What an incredible year. Wow. Sousa. And look at that. Jordan Rhodes came third in Golden Shoe. Yeah, for me, he couldn't score fucking 20 goals in a year. One more thing I want to check on before I wrap this episode up. Actually, 2 more things, actually. I want to go into World. So to do this is the only way I know how to currently, very quickly off the top of my head. Go on to World, go on to Awards. World Golden Ball went to a guy from Uruguay. World Player of the Year went to a few people. Messi came third. And World Team of the Year, we didn't pick up anyone in that. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. But one thing I want to check on quickly is the Hall of Fame. Currently, we find ourselves... where am I? We find ourselves not even on the continental leaderboards. In terms of nation, we are not on there either. And in terms of nationality, we're actually 9th, just ahead of our Aberystwyth save and just below our Pentagon. So, we are doing really well. Hopefully, we can add a few more onto that, and hopefully next year will be our Champions League winning year, because it's at Wembley, isn't it? Wembley! We love Wembley. So, until 6 months into next season, guys, until 6 months into our 10th year at the side, 10th season, I should say, at the side, peace out.